What is up, YouTube? Live QA here on YouTube. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but this entire stream is about fielding your comments and answering the questions live here on YouTube. So I do these quite a few times a week at on Instagram, and I've wanted to bring these over to the world of YouTube. What's up, guy here? I got Ricardo Garcia, Christian. I'll do some shout outs in the beginning. My phone is saying I have a bad connection, so that's not good. I don't know how the stream is coming out for you guys, but I got Justin saying what's up. What's in the bag? What's in what bag? Is that Ricardo? I don't think that's Ricardo from Fast Tech. Which bag? I don't know what bag you're talking about. Not first. Or is that Ricardo from Fast Tech? I could be wrong. I just know him as Fast Tech. What's up? I don't know what bag you guys are talking about. Here, going back at this angle. What bag? Trying to figure out what bag. And I will say, I'm not a big fan of how they hide the messages. I can't see anything. Hope you enjoy. What's up? What's up? So, live Q&A. You guys have get some questions going. Here, maybe I should turn my seat around. Probably shouldn't eat while I'm talking, huh? Have the car in the background. It's good. Hey, Lethal, what's the best handheld tune? I don't know if I'd go... I don't know what you mean by handheld. I'm assuming you mean can tune. There's quite a few options you can go with. But that being said, HP tuners is probably the easiest to work with for this car. I've heard the 2017s can be a nightmare to work with. Some of those ECUs have interesting things going on, but you know what? I have an idea. Right now I'm holding my phone, but I got this new device for my car, and I'm wondering if it will work in the office or out here. So I have this. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna mount this to my photo. If this works, it's gonna be awesome. And of course, I just broke it. I broke it! I'm breaking things. Sorry. Now I'm gonna try to fix it. Send this down for a second. It'll be worth it, I promise. Ah. And now that screwed the volume. There. That works. Except I didn't put the stupid screw thing in, so it doesn't want to hold the phone. Hey Lethal, how much do you think it would cost to put a 2017 Camaro dashboard into a 2015 Camaro? It wouldn't even fit. Like, you would have to custom fit that. That would be an interesting that'd be an interesting project for sure. But the 2016 is a skinnier car. You'd have big old gaps on each side. Unless you're going to customize and move it. Have you heard of anybody's throttle sticking on their SS? I have not heard of that. I've heard of some aftermarket throttles causing some troubles, but yeah. Is that a gum or a Big Mac you're chewing? No Big Mac. I don't eat Big Macs. I actually don't like Big Macs. Can I borrow your Camaro for prom? No. Saul asks, would you consider the Toyo R888s to be good autocross tires, or are they better for road course where they can get very warm? They do get warm regardless. So whether you're autocrossing or you're at a track day, I think they're really good tires with traction. The nice thing is the traction on the tires is really good even without them being warmed up. But once they're warmed up, those tires will not let your car slip at all. So depending on what you're doing or the application you're in, I think autocross, track, all that, the R888s will work out pretty well for you, but they're pretty expensive. But overall, it's a good tire. The only thing I would just be wary of is rain, obviously, and just the wear rating, you know. Let's see here. Hey, Lethal, thanks for the videos. I own a 2015 Chevy Sonic LTZ Turbo and hope to get a Camaro as the next car. Hey, man, save those pennies. You could totally do it. That's what I did. It took me 7 years to save for my car. So it's not something I bought because I'm like, hey, I'm going to go get a Camaro today. Letho, you would not believe what happened to me last weekend. What happened to you, 999 Hell Dog? What cold air intake would you recommend? I've tested quite a few cold air intakes. I am still working on my official video. I've gone to 4 different dynos now, mainly to see if the differences in the readings and everything were consistent. And RotoFab has consistently outperformed all the other intakes I've tested. That includes Mishimoto, that includes cold air inductions, that includes AFE, and it includes the K&N setup. Let's see here. Lethal, are you going to go to Mexico and film some races? No, I'm not going to go to Mexico and film races. I'm going to stay in California and film some races. How about that? Kevin from Alaska here. How's it going all the way from Alaska? What's the weather like up there? I bet it's freaking freezing. If you don't mind me asking, what are your payments on your Camaro? Like I said, I saved up my money for 7 years. I don't have a payment on my Camaro. What's your opinion on the fuel economy? Heard it's pretty good for a V8. The V8 fuel economy, so before I did any work to my car, when my car was just stock, the best I saw was 31 miles a gallon with active fuel management. But city driving ranged from 14 to 19 miles per gallon, depending how I was driving. With the cam and everything, that's drastically changed. Cutouts, question. I don't necessarily need cutouts, but if you want to keep your cats and you want to put cutouts in, you can. Some of the cars sound pretty good. I mean, if you leave your cats in, it kind of defeats the purpose, but it's up to you. What would you recommend, Vitesse or pedal box throttle controller? They both do the same thing, so it really comes down to quality and what you think about the actual product. I thought the Vitesse product was of decent quality, worked pretty well. I had no problems with it. There has been plenty of people who have had problems, so I don't want to ignore that. But on my specific car, putting that on there, I didn't have any problems. I really enjoyed it. But now that my car has a proper tune, I don't need it anymore, so I took it off the car. See here. What do you think about the ZL1 1LE? Is it a cop-out by Chevy to avoid making a Z28? What about those who have base Z01? I don't think it's a cop-out. We all knew they were coming out with a high-end performance car. I firmly believe they didn't want the Z28 to be a supercharged car. I honestly think the ZL1 1LE was originally going to be the Z28. So at this moment in time, I don't want to speculate this, but I almost just think there's not a Z28 anymore. Or they could come out with a Z28 and it will be based on the components that will probably ultimately end up in the ZR1 or that are in the ZR1 and they will borrow from that. I mean, keep in mind, you know, the cuffs are off the Camaro team. So I think they can only work within the parts that they have access to. So obviously they have the Cadillac pool, which is not very good right now. No one wants a dual turbo V6. But really, they're relying on what the Corvette team is developing so they can go play with that stuff. Are the Recaro seats worth buying? And is a ZL1 a bad daily driver, or should I just get a 2SS with Recaros? I mean, technically, you can get the 1SS 1LE. A ZL1 is probably a fine daily driver. Obviously, you're going to get not as great gas mileage, but if you can afford the ZL1, I doubt you're hurting for the cost of gas. It's really up to you, you know. I honestly would not daily drive with Recaro seats. I used to daily drive to LA all the time. I don't daily drive to LA anymore, so I actually am looking into potentially getting new seats. Do you think Chevy will make a high-priced supercar that competes with cars like Ford GT? Well, that's the Corvette. I mean, that's basically the Corvette. They're gonna Cadillac and Corvette have kind of been flip-flopping back and forth on like super crazy performance. Everyone knows the previous seat, was it the CTSV? Why am I forgetting names? CTSV, ATSV, whatever. The one that had the ZL1 motor, or the one that had the ZL1 motor before the ZL1 and the ZL1 got it. That was literally one of the fastest production cars in the world on the track. Obviously, a ton of other people have come out, or companies have come out with better cars since then. But I think Camaro and Corvette will continue to keep pushing that envelope. The problem is suspension. I mean, there's only so much they can do. What's the best way to protect your paint and keep it shiny? I have the same Camaro. Love it. Hey, Buffy. In regards to protecting your paint, obviously like an XPEL wrap will be the best way to protect it. If you're not really into wrapping or putting a protective coating on it, ceramics are really good, or just keeping up your paint with a good sealant and waxes and whatnot. I went down the road of just sealants and waxes. I could tell when a car's wrapped with XPEL, and it drives me nuts, and that's the primary reason why I don't have it on my car. Do you have your alignment specs after the wheels and the iBox springs? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by specs. Mine are all zeroed out. I'm not toe in or toe out, or I don't have anything adjusted for like racing or anything like that. I'm basically dialed in. Sorry, questions are coming in faster than I can answer them, and I have to scroll because they just get buried. I'm thinking about buying a Camaro SS, but cannot decide between silver or garnet red. I'm planning on adding black details, but I don't know which color is going to look better. What would you recommend? So, I love my white. I love my white to death, but I was also teeter-tottering with the silver. I honestly think the silver with black trim and red accents looks amazing. I don't know if it's JDP. There's a performance shop out there that has a silver one with black trim. It looks amazing. I'll comment below. I'll go look it up after the stream and see if I can find it. Are any of the 2016 parts compatible with the previous year? No, like the SS emblem. That's about it. That's the only thing they carried over. I would say the fifth gen ZL1 would be a sports car. I don't ever think the 5th gen ZL1 was ever classified as a supercar. Any more recommendations in SoCal for powder coating calipers, ballpark cost? I don't know about cost, but there's a place in Temecula, or they might be in Murrieta. It's called PPC, Precision Powder Coating. Look them up. They do really good work. They can get very specific and detailed work. I've heard nothing but good things from them, so give them a call, see what kind of cost they'll give you. How about coming up here to Alaska and doing video build with my car? That's a far drive, man. I would totally take you up on that, but that's far. So my 16 is white, and it snowed in Incy. Holy crap, irk. And I have to daily mine, so I kind of had to drive at work. The paint developed tiny orange dots. How do you remove it? Clay bar. If it's just on top of the clear coat, use clay bar. Clay will get it right on off. Do you like the Krypton green option? I am not a big fan of that color green, and it's a personal preference, so it's not knocking anybody who does like it. It's just I'm just not a big fan of it myself. So I'm not knocking anybody who does like it. It's a cool color. It's just not for me. Much love. Shout out from McFarland, California. Always tuning in. You already know. What's up, Tupac? Thanks, man, for the support. What happened to your computer build part of the channel? That was long ago, man. I still play games on high-end PCs, but I just don't share it, unfortunately. The RS, another powder coating place in Lake Elsinore. I've heard good things about them, too. So far with your Camaro, what is the most surprising win? A car do you not expect to beat? An M4. Still to this day, the M4 stock for stock. So this was before did anything to the car. I did. This was before Motor Trend did their video of the Camaro versus the M4. He was actually driving with an M3 buddy. It was, I believe it was the E92 model M3, but it was a brand new M4. And he came up on me at the light. The M3 was behind me, and he was like revving his motor. My car was still pretty new. I was just out of the break-in period, and I gassed it, and I smoked him. I don't know what happened, or it didn't even really matter, but that was probably the most surprising thing I ever saw in the car. Who's Claybar? It's he's from The Voice. I got a 2017 Camaro 2LT because I can't afford insurance on a V8. It's understandable being young. But I've got so many great ideas for my car. You know what? My car before this, so I knew I was saving for my SS. I knew I couldn't afford the SS, both insurance at the time. Gas was like almost $6 a gallon out here in California. So I leased 1LT RS, 5th gen. It was a 2013. I love that car. My dad actually has it now, but I was still saving my money for my SS. I knew insurance was crazy. I'm now old enough to where insurance is kind to me, and I don't pay nearly as much as I used to. So yeah, I mean, waiting is not a bad thing. Anybody who tries to give you crap about that, they're just wrong. Like, do what you got to do. People don't understand your situation. They just think, oh God, it's not a V8. You're terrible. Like, I don't agree with that. There's 1.5 million different reasons why people get different cars. And I think we should all respect anybody who drives Camaros, Mustangs, or Challengers. What do you also think the best aftermarket air intake is? Your recommendation. All I have on mine is Cook's with catless pipes, and I'm waiting to tune. So I've done a lot of testing, both tuned and untuned, with cold air intakes. I'll say the Rotofab setup, both untuned and tuned, provided some of the best results I saw. AFE was a close second. With a really good tune, it was even better. But seriously, on a tune with Rotofab, my car basically gained like 24 horsepower just with that. So I would say that's not too shabby for the cost. Insurance for an SS for 6 months is around, what, $19,000? What are you talking about? That's no way. Have you heard any news in the 10-speed going into the 2018 6 gens? Well, it's in the ZL1, but I'm assuming you're asking if there's any news if it's in the LT or the SS. I haven't heard anything. I would be shocked if GM did roll it out across all the cars in 2018, but I could definitely see it being a potential item that they may add with a 6th-gen refresh whenever that occurs. What's going on, Do you think the Camaro will ever have a mid-engine? No, I do not think the Camaro will ever have a mid-engine. I met my family, been buying GM for 20 plus years. Not a single major problem on any of them. I mean, not to discount that, there's obviously been people out there that have had problem cars. So I don't think anybody could just stand there and be like, GM has never made a faulty car. Like, there has been plenty of faulty cars. GM bought back my first Camaro. It had major paint problems. But just putting that there, GM respected their warranty, they respected the process, and they replaced my car. So I know not everyone has the same outcome and same story, and it might not be the same for everybody, etc. But every car company has its demons and problems, and to say that they don't is just false. Still like the cam on the 8-speed auto. Daily driving doesn't get weird. No, I love this cam, Gabe. This thing it's amazing. This car just goes. I don't know if you guys saw my last video driving in the rain, but I love it. I love the sound. I love the way it feels. I can't wait till the Pro Charger. So the Pro Charger is going on March 20th. I'm super excited for that. My wife, the same SS as yours, 2016, same color and black wheels. What do you do to help with all the brake dust? So, first and foremost, now, there's a couple companies that make new brake pads. So there's Hawk pads, there's Power Stop. They both make a ceramic-based pad that like dusts 98% less than the stock pads. Doing that first, and that's like a under $200 upgrade with pads. Do that, and that will eliminate your headaches with dusting. Now, on top of that, I'm currently have Bead Maker on my wheels from P&S Sales, and putting that and those brake pads, not only is it not getting so much road grime built up onto it, but my dust is basically gone. $1,900 for SS sounds good to me for insurance. My Toyota T cost me $2,200 in a year. So I pay $1,200 a year for my Camaro and the Suburban. So that gives you an idea of the breaks that you get when you become an old man. So I'm 34 years old. When I hit 33, my insurance went poof. It just like tanked. It was awesome. I mean, there can be blind spots in a Camaro if you don't know how to drive a car, but if you look over your shoulder and properly look, I don't think there's any problems with blind spots. Nice, dude. Just pass right on over my question. Unsubbed. What? Okay, peace out, bro. I can't see everyone's questions. Do you see how many friggin' posts there are? We already know what the ZL1 1LE cost will be. Base price is starting at $66,000 and it will go up to $70,000. They said that at the event. Do you hunt Mustangs for fun? I actually have tried. I've gone out and tried to find Mustangs to race, and I failed miserably. Every time I try to go do something where I have my GoPros mounted so I can make cool videos and post them here on YouTube, it just fails. So, and every time that I don't want something to happen, I don't have my camera with me, or I just don't have everything. God dang, I pay $120 a month for my Civic Si. Yeah, well, you're 19, that's why. Do you think Chevy will make another sedan that compares with the Dodge Challenger? I don't know how much longer the Dodge Charger is going to exist. If you look at the Dodge sales for the Charger versus the Challenger, I don't know. I don't know how Dodge state lines, they just don't sell a ton of cars. And I mean, maybe they're built their line and their factories to support the sales that they have. They obviously have, but I don't know. Obviously, the Chevy SS did not sell as well as they wanted. When do you think the mid-cycle refresh is going to happen? So I was guessing 2019, but I almost want to say, I mean, it just depends on sales. Sales on Camaro are going up, so that's a good thing. I mean, the business for Chevy is over a $2 billion business right now. That's pretty good for them. So, you know, Camaro's healthy and strong. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a refresh coming. So every girl who has said nice car to me thought it was a Mustang. Oh, that's shameful. That's actually happened to me once. How did you choose from auto to a manual? So for me, and I get a lot of crap about this, and I really don't care, but in general, I went down and test drove both the automatic and manual. Actually, I didn't go down. I went out of state to a Find New Roads event and got to test both cars. And seriously, after I drove the A8, like, it was just so intoxicating. It felt so good. The downshifts coming around corners and stuff, like, so worth it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I could drive a stick. I don't mind driving a stick. My next car is going to be a stick just to fight all the haters on the channel, and then I'll show my heel toe action, and you know. But my problem is I want to be able to go to the track whenever I want, and I had an experience out in Nevada where I got to drive a Z28, and I locked up the rears twice, downshifting coming out of a corner. And one, it was embarrassing. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm not a professional race car driver. I get super nervous when I drive because, one, I don't want to crash the car, and two, I just want to have a good time, but I also don't want to hit the other car in front or behind me. And I downshifted wrong, missed, locked up the rears, and spun the car around, and it just was not a fun experience for me. Now, for me, I want to enjoy myself and have a good time in the car, and it has nothing to do with I want to be able to feel the road, and I love the feel of a stick, because I agree with that. I think a stick does feel better to drive, but in the competitive scene, I'm a terrible driver with the stick shift. So, hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. Sorry, I'm going to try to scroll back. Billy Thompson, thank you for all the videos. We really appreciate everything you do with all the channel. You can send me a link, get some of those pads. So if you look at my brake pad review, I do have a link. You can go to powerstop.com and literally select your car. Camaro 2016. If you have the V6, the V8, and what brakes you have, it'll tell you the pads that you need. How much was E85 to set up? E85 was $349 for the sensor, and then the tune, which is like $500, but they were having to tune the car anyways, so because I had the cam installed, I had the tune, my headers, all that junk. So it's basically $349 plus $500, depending on the performance shop you go to. What's the top speed you've hit so far? I went 181 miles an hour in this car, but that was before it was cammed. I haven't tried going that fast where it's at. So, guys, he's selling Lethal sweatshirts. They are on the site. Lethal Garage. You can get decals. You can get sweatshirts. You can get T-shirts. I actually don't have a T-shirt out here right now to show you guys. We also have all the Generation decals now. So if you guys don't know, like, a lot of people accuse me of trying to make money. I'm not trying to make money. My son has a blood disorder. People harass me to make decals to support the channel. So I did, and all the profits of those decals goes to my son's blood disorder to pay for that. So, and if there's anybody in chat who has supported, thank you very much for that. It's not a requirement or anything, but it is there. So if you guys want some cool Lethal Camaro decals, we now have them from 1st gen all the way to 6th gen in multiple different colors. What's the biggest speeding ticket you ever got? I haven't gotten one in this car. What was it? Actually, it was in Old Town in Temecula, and I was going 7 miles over the speed limit. Actually, no, that's not true. I didn't get a ticket. I was in a Chevy S10 on my way to Arizona to work in and out clothing, and a CHP officer pulled me over saying I was going 110 miles an hour, which was not true, and it couldn't go that fast. So there's no way he could have wrote that ticket. Are you going to upgrade the Recaros? I would like to get the ZL1 seats. I will put the ZL1 seats, and I found out a way to remove all the ZL1 markings on the ZL1 pieces, so I can actually keep it in SS, but just have the Alcantara style. I really love the Alcantara. It's nice. How's the interior quality, for example? Any rattling noises? I had some rattling noises up front. I pulled apart my dash and found my initial rattle. It was just a little plastic piece that was buzzing. I literally just taped it down, and I really don't have any rattling unless I have the Bose system on. There's a weird, interesting sound I get with my Bose bass up. I don't know. Is the GM body kit on your car the ground effects package that the dealer offers? Yes, it is. And the reason why I had to add mine after the fact is it wasn't available at launch. So I ordered mine and installed it myself. I think it was like $1,600. But GM charges you like $2,500 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Would you put the MSD atomic intake on your SS? No, and the reason for that is because I'm putting a Pro Charger on. And when you put a Pro Charger on, yeah, I'm sure the MSD will flow a little bit better, but when you have forced induction, it's not going to really make that big of a difference. Will a V6 Lincoln gap you? No. What do you mean stream's dead? There's plenty of people here. I still see questions, Sam. And a B8? I don't know what a B8 is, but that sounds pretty brutal. Thanks for making these videos and doing the best to answer questions. Most YouTubes just care about the likes, but you really help. I really don't care about likes. I mean, it's nice to get likes. It's nice to get views, but seriously, I created this channel as a hobby, me trying to help other car people. So if that's what it has done, then I've succeeded. That's the only reason why the channel exists. Have you put ceramic coating on your paint? Love this channel, by the way. Hey, no, I have not put a ceramic coating on my car. I polish it once a year, and I keep a good sealant and a good wax on it every 3 months. It looks really good. I got a 6-speed, and I love it. My husband has a blood disorder, sickle cell disease, so I know there's a lot to deal with in regards to blood issues, so my prayers go out to you. Thank you, Buffy. Appreciate that. Yeah, my son has a blood disorder called hereditary spherocytosis, and the problem is some of his blood cells are misshaped, and so his spleen destroys them, and it just gets to a point where there's more destroyed blood cells than healthy blood cells, and it causes his hemoglobin counts to tank, and he has to go to the hospital and get transfusions or blood exchanges. And they won't remove his spleen until he's 9 years old. So we have to deal with that for quite a few more years. Thoughts on Camaro from Hawaii 5-0? I don't know if I have a thought on that. Santiago, when are you going to get a Pro Charger? I already have a Pro Charger. It gets installed on March 20th. What cars are you scared to race? All of them. You never know what's under their hood. You just don't know. I mean, for all I know, the Mustang that may pull up next to me might have dual turbos. And right now, I just have a cam, and that doesn't make me much faster. You ever gonna slam Lethal? No, I think she's about as low as she's gonna go. Sorry about your son. Thanks for the quality content. Hey, appreciate that, EF. How do you think GM will refresh the 6th gen Camaro? Design changes, etc. I have no idea. I mean, if you take a page out of the book of what they've done in the years past, it'll probably be little design cues based upon feedback that they heard to make the car look better. What's up, Lethal? I will see you this weekend, brother. Hey, I will see you, Montoya. Hey, I got orange stickers. Did you see the orange decals, Montoya? I'll bring one for you on Saturday. I just missed the GM body kit question. The stream froze on my end. Ground effects, same as your body. Yes, it's the same. Sickle cell disease does the same thing. My husband is Billy Thompson, and he is on here also. Oh, nice. Hey, Billy, man. I'm still experiencing heavy jerking in my A-Speed SS. You said it's normal for some, but mine is ridiculous. Is it when you're going from first to second? I've heard people say that. One of the biggest things that most people don't talk about is the A8 automatic, and it's the same with the Corvettes. After time, a relearn is actually beneficial for the car. So actually taking it to GM and have them reset it so it relearns, I've seen that fix a lot of issues that people have complained about. Least favorite state to drive in, California. God, California sucks. I hate California. Is $39K a good deal for a 17 1SS automatic with quad tips? I think you can get a better deal than that. I bought my Camaro because of you. Thanks for the videos. Hey, is it Israel? Awesome, man. Great to hear. I hope you love the car as much as I love mine. Again, I'm not here to try to hawk cars for GM, but it's more just sharing my passion for, I mean, I love the Camaro. But I will say this, I love the Challenger and I love the Mustang. I love them all. It's just the Camaro won me over this time around. So, and it won me over in the 5th gen as well. Lagging a lot, missing a lot of answers. I don't know why it's lagging. I'm not saying my connection's showing really good. How do you feel about the tilted down forward infotainment system? It doesn't bug me, and I honestly thought it would probably, isn't Temecula? No, Temecula is not in a drought anymore. We've had more rain than anything. I thought the infotainment system would bug me for how tall I am. So I'm 6'5", and it doesn't bug me at all. I don't have any issues reading the data on there. But then again, I'm not really looking at it while I'm driving because I also don't use it for my navigation. I use Waze on my phone because Waze is amazing at detecting police out here because there's a gazillion people in California that use it. Ever thought about getting into bikes? I did, and my wife said no, and I respected that. With how far I drive, I just did not want to risk my life because, you know, driving a bike is a lot more risky than a car. Which will be better, 2018 Camaro ZL1 1LE or Dodge Demon? I have no idea. We don't know full details of a Dodge Demon. My prediction is the Dodge Demon's going to have so much power, and it's still not going to hook up just like the Dodge Hellcat. I'm 6 foot, and I'm having a hard time getting used to the long hood in the car. It freaks me out. How did you also have this problem at first? I didn't have that problem. I mean, you're 6 foot. I'm 6'5". I feel like I could see over the hood. I mean, I do get nervous coming into parking spots. You know, seeing those concrete barriers and stuff like that. I'm actually looking into getting a front bumper sensor to eliminate that concern. Also, potentially even a front bumper camera, but it will require me to pull my radio out and get it reset up, and it's really not cheap, and I don't think it's worth the cost. I mean, it would be cool, but it's just not cheap. Yeah, the ZL1 1LE is a pure track car. The Dodge Demon is going to be a massive horsepower crazy thing. I'm 6 foot and still think the roof is low. Is it a moonroof versus no? I cannot stand moonroofs. That's just my personal opinion. I have no qualms against people who like moonroofs. I'm just not a sunroof fan. People on Instagram know this. They've heard my gripes about it. I just really like the look of the reverse Mohawk. I think the reverse Mohawk on the 6th gen Camaro is the design choice on the car. Like, seeing that car have that roof, I think it just all ties together. Is it very likely that Chevy will stop making Camaros again? No. If you remember when the 4th gen went out of business, the Camaro business was under $1 billion business for GM, and they were losing money. The 6th gen Camaro is making a crap ton of money. I don't see the 6th gen platform going anywhere, And if it was going to go somewhere, they wouldn't be releasing other ZL1s. Have you ported your heads and upgraded your valve train, or are cams the only thing that you've done internally? So valves were updated. I did not port heads. New rods, new springs, new lifters, valley cover because we deleted active fuel management. And I just remembered someone was asking why did I delete active fuel management. When you put a new cam in, you basically have to get rid of active fuel management. And yes, the manual 6 versions of these cars do have some of the parts for active fuel management, even though the car doesn't have it. Or doesn't utilize it. So do know if you do put a cam in your car, you are going to have to buy some additional components other than a cam and a, why am I forgetting the name? Whatever the parts that you need for your cam. God, I'm stuck on that name. What is it called? It's like right here. It's right here. I don't know. Whatever. Why was the auto Z01 faster than... Why was the auto... You mean the manual Z01 faster than the 10-speed? Are you talking about the motor trend? No one knows. I mean, that was the first... That was the first official test from an official race car driver. I mean, Randy Probst is a very capable driver, and he took the manual 6 ZL1 faster around Button Willow than the automatic. I don't know why. GT350 versus ZL1, which one do you think is better? Well, the ZL1 kills it in performance, but then again, you're comparing two different cars. I mean, the 1SS Camaro or even the 1LE Camaro is better than the base GT350 on the track. Now, the GT350R, that's a different beast. That's a whole different animal, and technically GM hasn't released a car to go toe-to-toe with that. I mean, the GT350R is still a natural car. It doesn't have forced induction or anything like that. So I think a lot of people were hoping the Z28 was coming so that GM would have a car to compare to the 350R. But I do think the ZL1 is going to be the formidable contender for the Shelby 500. We'll see how that all pans out. I don't know. Nice. Assume I'm thinking of the same thing, but having second thoughts, muffler delete and cats for a V6 performance exhaust. I'm not a big fan of muffler deletes. That's just me. Are they going to slash big engines due to regular? Yeah, I mean, they have to figure out a way to get better gas mileage. I mean, I think the world of V8s will come crashing at some point. CAFE regulations, I believe it's 2020, are going to be crunching down really hard unless they can get V8 motors at 40 miles a gallon. I don't see what they'll do or how they'll do it. I mean, I could see them potentially doing turbocharged V8s, maybe, but I think the future is dual overhead cam style motors, and I hate to say it, but I'm glad I have my pushrod car. How do you feel about the new ZL11LE spoiler? Do you think that it will become a purchasable spoiler for the SS modes? I don't think it will be something that you can purchase like, hey, I'm going to go custom build an SS, now I want to add this spoiler. It will probably be limited to the ZL11LE, and you'll probably have to have a VIN number to get it. But I'm sure there's going to be a million aftermarket companies that make one just like it. Do you only have a Suburban and a Camaro? Would you get more fuel-efficient car? No, because I really don't believe in fuel efficiency because it's a bunch of crap. Would you put an MSD atomic intake on? No, I will not, because I think it's a waste of $1,000. Especially with force induction, with how much air is being forced through, it blows away the minimal efficiency gains you'll get over the stock one. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we don't know if that means no more V8s. I mean, time will tell. Do you think they're going to... Wait, what is it? What do you think they are doing with the LT5 motor? I don't know. I mean, some people were saying, oh, it's a truck motor. It'd be really interesting if it appears in the ZR1 that's rumored to be a car coming. So, yeah. Matt, are you going to be at E3 this year? And in your job, do you do anything with racing sims? No. I work on shooter titles. I work on EA Star... Well, not just shooters, but I work on Star Wars and Titanfall. I probably won't be at E3, but I will be at EA Play. What does the exhaust warranty cover? LOL. It messed up my car at all? I mean, the exhaust warranty is like the valves in the MPP if you have that, or the basics there. Like if you pull off your stock exhaust and GM sees that, they'll be like, yeah, we're not gonna warranty your new exhaust. How will your drivetrain hold up to the power that the ProCharger will make up? The torque converter upgrades possible in the car's future. So we've been talking about a torque converter. Cunningham Motorsports has been running their 16SS without one, with a ProCharger that's putting down about 250 more horsepower than mine will. And it's been running really good for them. So I've been going back and forth on a torque converter, but we'll see. When are you coming to Florida? Probably in April. I will be in the Orlando area. What do you think 2016 Camaro RS goes for use? I don't know. I haven't looked. What can you do to get my 16SS to 500 HP? Basically, you could do all the bolt-ons, tune, and E85, and that will get you very close, if not there, depending on how aggressive of a tune you get, and cam. I asked this question a while back, but where in the world can I get like American flag patches sewn into my headrest? I've been looking around, but haven't found anything. You have to, I mean, if you find a car upholstery shop, they should be able to do that for you. Have you played Battlefront 2? No comment. Is there a gear change in the rear end in the near future? I'm not technically looking at doing a gear change, but knowing that the 1LE gears are freaking amazing, I've thought about it. But that will totally change the way the car drives. I mean, I have the A8 Auto in the car, and those gears are really built for a manual car, and I don't know how that will carry over. I think the Corvettes and the Z28 will be coming with some kind of DOH engine. I think if they do a Z28, it will come with the refresh. So I'm not completely ruling out a Z28 being possible, but I don't think it's coming with this exact body style. I think it will be something that they roll out with the refresh, if they do. Flow tie? I mean, it's standard on the ZL1. I actually like having the bow tie there. Are you a fan of the heads-up display? I'm not a fan of it, but I don't love it. The problem is I sit too high, and the heads-up display for someone my height is just too low. So I find myself looking over it. Will you do a new exhaust comparison video, stainless works versus Borla exhaust? I can, but keep in mind I have a cam, so it's kind of hard to compare now, unless that other car had the same exact cam I did. Did the price for the 2016 SS drop because of the ZL1 1LE? No, the price of the 2016 SS dropped because GM knocked the pricing down on the cars by literally like almost 20% at the end of that gen cycle coming into 2017 to clear all the inventory, and it just caused all of the prices to tank. Like, I'm upside down on my car probably for another year before the value actually balances out, if I'm lucky. A direct inject L7 would be amazing. Do you think these 6.2 motors are going to be a collector's once a cafe motor? I don't know. For all I know, new laws and rules can come into play where they tell us we can't drive these cars on the road. Dear God, I hope that never happens. Do you like the Bose sound system? Are you planning on adding subs? How can I put this? I'm not a huge fan of the Bose system, but the quality has allowed me to not so much worry about upgrading my stereo system right now. Maybe down the road I might look into something, but it's not on my top list right now. I'm thinking about buying a ZL1 1LE. It's a nice car. Would be worth the purchase. I think they'll be very rare. How's your warranty currently looking with all your upgrades? I don't have a warranty. I have like a paint warranty. That's about it. How do you like the 8-speed auto? I like my 8-speed auto. I have no problems with it. It's really fast. It feels really good driving. But that's just me. Do you have a problem where the bottom of the windshield fogs up if you leave your AC on for a while? I have not seen that problem on my car, but then again, I'm in Southern California, so. Is your next Cars and Coffee meet V6 Camaro friendly? Of course it's V6. It's i4 Camaro. It's whatever car you drive friendly. Come on down, man. Saturday morning, 8 to 10, this Saturday. What's your favorite accessory? I have no idea. I don't know. Is the 2SS worth it over the 1SS? I think it is. I wanted a car that had all the bells and whistles, that had the leather seats. I wanted the lighting. I wanted the heads-up display. I wanted all the goodies. I wanted the vented and heated seats, like the dual zone climate, like all that stuff spoke to me. I wanted that. And so for, I think it was like a $5,000 premium, I felt it was plenty worth it. Any routing noises in the interior? No, not anymore. No, I would not trade my car for a Z06. Paint warranty minus the hood. Yes, no, minus the hood. You're right. Does your Bluetooth actually work, or do you just listen to your exhaust and smile? That's a good one. Yeah, I listen to my exhaust and smile. I hardly ever listen to music driving around now. I just listen to exhaust all day. Mopar said they will discontinue the 5.7 V8 and possibly 6.4 in 2020. I could see that happening. I mean, that's why the Viper disappeared. They could not get it cafe friendly. Would you install the Wicker Bill on my Gen 5 1LE? Sure. Bring it on down. I'll install it for you. Again, that's why I do this channel. Not only to help you, but if people are local and they need help installing stuff, I have no problem in helping. What was the down payment? The entire price of the car. What is the red line with your new cam? I've seen it go up to about $7,200. Can you get the interior lighting from the 2SS? You can add it on as a package, but you would have to order it that way. Or I think they can add it, but it's not cheap. Does your dad still have your old 5th gen? Yes, he does. Some crazy lady rear-ended him, and it just got out of the shop, so he just got it back, and she's looking brand new and better than ever. Have you ever run from the cops in your car? No, I would not run from the cops. Are you crazy? While 2017 ZL1 will be... What? What? I don't get the question, Gavin. While 2017 ZL1 be in green. Will? You can get the green in the ZL1. Question. Is it possible to paint or plasti dip the factory bow ties instead of buying completely new ones? Yeah, of course you can. You could plasti dip anything or spray it or whatever. Are your taillights bright during the day? You could see them. I mean, so keep in mind these blacked out taillights, they are DOT approved. So you can, you can see them perfectly fine. Here, I'm going to take the camera off the thing. Let's go ahead. I'm going to open the garage a little bit. Let's take it off my ugly mug. I don't think a lot of you guys have heard the car. So I'm going to open the garage so I don't die of fumes. Who wants to hear the car? So the cam's a little bit more hidden with E85. No, these are Toyo R888s. 315s in the rear. Intimidated by how big I am. Sure, Emmett. My best is 0.6 right now. Here, so that's in sport mode. Let me see if I can put it in tour mode for you guys. Someone was asking how it sounds. Actually, I don't know if I can. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I can. So that's it in quiet down mode. So this is in tour. You mean the cam? There's one cam. have is for forced induction, so I won't realize that power until my new Pro Charger's on. Pretty sure mine will go faster. Nah, not really. Here, I'll put it back. Here's the interior. So, but it sounds pretty good. Here, I'll go around. I'm sure some of the people, I always get like pop hood. The funny part is the car very much looks stock under the hood. So, gotta do it, Daniel, man. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see what's going on under this hood. I'll be at about 7.8 pounds. Yeah, still stock bottom end. But I have the roto intake. I drew out the strut tower brace, emission motor catch can. Saying I got a bad connection. Bad connection! But it looks very much stock. I'm okay with that. I have not tried the fast intake. There you go. I mean, some of the difference, I do have the GM body kit. I do have the chin splitter on the front from ZL1 add-ons. I think it's my connection. I keep saying bad connection. I don't think I'm offline. It still shows me a ticking timer and I'm seeing your comments. I haven't had any problem with burning oil. I have not gotten the C7 carbon splitter yet. So they still haven't shipped those out to winners. But there you guys go. I'm going to wrap up this stream for the night. Thanks, Derek. I do appreciate you guys stopping by the stream tonight. This was an impromptu. I told myself I'd only go for about an hour. So hopefully I answered a whole bunch of questions for you. If you guys have more questions, post in the comments below. I do take pride in responding to every question I can on the channel. I do appreciate all the support, the subscribes, likes, shares, even the dislikes. You guys have been amazing. So if you guys enjoyed the content, support the channel. Likes, comments, shares, always appreciated. And until I see you next time, I hope to see you on the road.